Namaste all, hope you're doing well. Welcome to your practice. Today's practice will be the Arogya Series. It's the beginner friendly practice where we focus on smaller moves that create a lot of freedom in the body to move through with greater ease, and the bigger moves throughout in the yoga practice, the physical practice of yoga, and just in everyday life in general. They will most definitely serve you. For the practice today, we will begin like the previous Friday practices, which is with the resonance breathing. Just a quick gentle reminder that's the even inhale and exhale in and out through the nose. No pressure or force, only working towards the count that's attainable for you, where you can achieve it with ease. And remembering with the breath that you're not trying to fill up the lungs to your maximum capacity. Thinking softer and longer breathing, just softly breathing on the inhale, same consistency from start to finish, and soft breath out on the exhale, same consistency start to finish. You can be in a seated position if that is most comfortable for you, but I will encourage you and invite you to come to perhaps a lying down position. When you come to a lying down position, you can have the legs straight, you can have the knees bent, hands can be up from the sides of the body, or they can be rest on the belly. Choose which is appropriate for you. Just take a few moments to readjust. Coming to a lying down position, adjust the body to where you can really truly feel that the body is held and it's comfortable, and you can really settle. No matter which variation you choose to be in, eyes closed and the mouth closed. And as you come to your practice, you're working with the intention rather of creating space. And this space is a place that is absent of any resistance. You're not trying to push away any thoughts. You're not trying to suppress any thoughts. Instead, we'll just encourage a shift of our awareness. As you bring your awareness to your physical body, and just note how your physical body feels. Begin at the crown of the head. Any tension, any holding of body feels good anywhere in between. And from the crown of the head, allow your awareness to smoothly and softly drift down through the whole body, noticing along the way how body feels. If you come across any areas of particular holding or tension, perhaps those are points that you habitually hold tension, be there for a moment, giving tension your attention. And when you've tuned into the whole body, just softly allow your awareness to begin to move back up through the body and move through the center line. Allow your awareness rest for a moment at the very base of the pelvic floor, the bottom of the spine. Continuing up through the center line, your awareness comes up a very small distance, halfway between the base of the pelvic floor and the navel. Moving up to the navel, your awareness rests at the very center of the belly, the center line of the body. Your awareness continues the ascent up the center line of body to the heart. Moving to base of throat. You're just witnessing, allowing awareness to rest at each point. Eyebrow center. And from the eyebrow center, move into the head space and just notice, what's the condition of the mind as you come to your practice? Have you been resting well? Are you feeling energetic? Or maybe you're tired? Are you feeling focused or agitated, distracted? Just notice without trying to change. And with this attuned awareness of both the physical body and the mind, we'll draw the attention upon the breath. And know that you're welcome to remain just simply witnessing and experiencing the breath. But if all is well, we'll work through a few gentle rounds of the resonance breathing, even inhale and exhale in and out through the nose, only to the point that you can maintain the even breath with ease. No pressure or force to be experienced. Mentally preparing. Breathing in, 2, breathing out, 2. Breathing in, 2, breathing out, 2. Breathing 3, 2, 3, breathing out, 2, 3, breathing in, 2, 3, breathing out, 2, 3, breathing in, 2, 3, breathing out, 2, 3, breathing 4, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, breathing 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and continue. No pressure or force upon the breath. Honestly assessing our body's reaction. Any pressure around the chest, any pressure around the eyes. It's a suggestion we're gone a little too far. Coming back a step, coming back a count or two, and build from there. If you haven't already done so and you're familiar, layer your ujjayi breathing upon the top. Create a little further resistance, which helps you to maintain greater control over the breath. Softly lengthen. If the mind begins to wander to any degree, each time bring it back to the breath. Lengthen it to the point that's achievable for you. At the end of your next exhale, no rush to arrive there, release the effort upon the breath. And just return to witnessing. After just 4 minutes of conscious breathing, what's the response? If the count of 5 is attainable for you, breath will slow down to about 6 breaths per minute. But no matter where you are, just notice the reaction. If if you're in a seated position, please do remain as you are. If you have come to the suggested lying down position, just softly begin to stir the body. Bending the left knee, right arm is up overhead, left hand to the belly, and gently roll onto your right side. Just taking a moment, mindful of any dizziness. And once it feels steady, gently push up to any seated variation. Eyes closed. Namaskara Mudra, if it's comfortable for you, palms to press the front of the chest. As you take a moment, set an intention, a sankalpa, or a dedication for your practice. Release your hands. Chin to chest, and a few gentle things, opening up the eyes. Namaste. Gently release the hands. We'll come front. You can sweep your legs around, come front, or you can raise your knees a little higher, heels tucked under a little further, and take the hands front, coming onto all fours, hands in the knees. Take a moment to set up. There's many variations of alignment which you can be in. The eventual intention is taking a forearm distance in between the knees. So if you place your elbow on the inside edge of one knee, where the heel of the palm comes to press against the other knee, that's forearms distance apart. Bringing the elbow in front of the knee, forearms pointing straight towards the front of your mat. This is forearms distance also, and you can raise up here, so forearm distance on either side. If this angle presents too much of a challenge on the wrists, your hands can be front as you need to, or you can play around with making fists. So choosing which is best for you. Your toes are in line with your knees and the tops of the feet are grounded. All is well here. Maintain the gaze a little front. We'll keep the top of the right foot grounded, but we'll raise the right knee. This is going to also raise the left hand and be there for a moment. Recognize the reaction. You begin to sway. Can you maintain center? Thinking of sternums drawn a little back. Allow the breath to flow. Then grounding the left hand on the right knee. Keep the top of the left foot grounded, but raise the knee and raise the right hand simultaneously. And be there for a moment. If you have any tenderness in the shoulder, please do take care. Don't fight for that. Recognize the steps. Beautiful. Ground the left knee and the right hand. Now you're welcome to continue with this variation of being in one position and thus alternating between the hands either side. But if all is well, we'll bring it into a more dynamic movement, into full crawling. Remember, take your time. Gaze front as best you can. If necessary, you can look down. Little practice, you're looking front. Raise the right hand and the left knee, so top of the left foot remains grounded. Then simultaneously step the right hand front and bring the left knee front. Then raise the left hand and the right knee. Recognize top of right foot is grounded. You're sliding along the ground as left hand and right knee simultaneously come front. Right hand and the left knee. Left hand and the right knee. Then changing direction, so the right knee and the left hand go back together. The left knee and the right hand. Right knee, left hand, left knee, right hand, right knee, left hand. Going front, left hand, right knee, right hand, left knee, left hand, right knee, right hand, left knee, left hand, right knee. Now you can maintain the gaze front, but if you're mindfully challenging, turn your gaze to your right. And maintain the gaze right, and don't fight the neck. And then step back the right knee and the left hand. The left knee and the right hand. The right knee and the left hand. The left knee and the right hand. The right knee and the left hand. Turn your gaze to your left if comfortable. Then bring the left hand and the right knee, right hand and the left knee, left hand and the right knee, right hand and the left knee, left hand and the right knee. Return your gaze to the center, stepping back the right knee and the left hand, left knee and the right hand, right knee and the left hand, and then readjust your positions where you're almost centered on your mat as best you can. Fingers are well spread. You're setting up with that forearm distance between the knees and eventually forearm distance between the knees and the hands. Spread the fingers really well, but don't fight for depth. All is well here. Maintain center as best you can. Your next exhale, turn your gaze to your right and see if you can look for the right foot. So a gentle compression on the right side, a beautiful opening on the left side. As you inhale back to center, shoulder and shoulder maintain over wrist and hip over knee. Your next exhale, turn your gaze to the left any degree. Feels good. Look for the foot. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Don't fight. Mindfully apply. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Beautiful. Keep the hands where they are. Bend at the knee and the intention of sitting back on the heel. If you need to slide your hands back towards you, sit on the heel, that's beautiful work too. But you're trying to maintain this length in the spine. You're not trying to bring your chest to the ground. We're rather high. Being here for a moment, just recognize the reaction in your hands and your shoulders. One more breath. Beautiful. Smoothly raise back up on the hands and the knees. We're going to be working with the wrists and the forearms a little. If you have any challenge in this area or any challenge in the shoulder, please work with care. Raising your right hand up initially, and you're turning the right fingers, the right palm out to the side to any degree. You can take a few steps to get there, with the eventual intention is fingers pointing back towards the knee, tips of fingers, base of finger, and heel of palm grounded. Right shoulder works away from the ear. Be there for a moment. Where do you experience it? Beautiful. Now you're welcome to work it one at a time, so bring back the right if necessary. Little practice. Welcome the left also. Each side can be very different, so not fighting for that equal depth. Where both shoulders now. Both shoulders drawn a little back. Chin is in a mild double chin. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck. Super. Bringing back the left, and then followed by the right. Bringing the knees and the feet together. If it's within your comfortable limits, sitting back in Vajrasana, the thunderbolt pose where we sit on the heels, spine is lifted. If this presents a challenge for you, you can be in any seated variation which is best for you to maintain, but don't force. Bending at the elbows, bringing the elbows close to the body. You're thinking the shoulder, the elbow and the wrist are working a straight line on both sides. Shoulders are free and relaxed. Palms are facing down. Awareness into your thumbs and make circles with your thumbs. Don't really slow down the movement. Often if you move quickly, you skip over movement and surrounding joints and muscles want to move with it, but just see if it can just be thumb. Pausing the thumb into your index finger. Two other fingers join it. Middle finger. Where do you feel it in the hands? Ring finger. Little fingers. Allow the breath to flow. Little fingers in the opposite direction. Ring fingers. Spine is lifted into the middle fingers. Back into index fingers. Thumbs. Beautiful. Pausing with the thumbs, pausing with the circular motion through the fingers. Extend the arms straight out in front, and if it feels good, raise tall on your knees. Take your knees to be hip distance apart. Toes come along also. Doubling over mat for any sensitivity that are experienced in the knees. All as well as you inhale, flip the palm to face front. As you exhale, flip the palm to face down. And curl the fingers a little. Inhale, palm up. Exhale, palm down. Inhale, palm up. Exhale, palm down. Superb. As you inhale, come back to a neutral position, fingers to shoulder in a straight line, without bending at the elbow or taking the arms further apart. As you inhale, just point the fingers out to the sides. As you exhale, fingers in towards each other. This is movement of the wrist, maybe small movement. Inhale, fingers out. Exhale, fingers center line. Inhale, out. Exhale, center line. Beautiful, back to center. Release the hands for a moment. If it's accessible, knees and feet back together. And returning to Vajrasana, that lifted spine. Bending of the right elbow, position where you were in a previous moment ago. Shoulder, elbow and wrist working in a straight line. Palm is up, then you make a fist. Your left hand is going to grab the right forearm. The intention is to keep the forearm real steady. Facing up, even if the degree of rotation you make to the wrist is only very small. Truly just move from the wrist. I'll encourage you to move with the breath. So 3 rotation, full rotation with the inhale, full rotation with the exhale. Move with your breath. Note that there's no movement in the forearm, looking at your wrist and looking at your forearm. If there's any sticky points, any cracks or pops, this can be okay as long as it's not associated or accompanied with pain. Super. Once you've completed 3 in whichever direction you've gone in first, change directions, shoulders are relaxed, forearm is steady. Beautiful. Once you've completed 3, release the right hand, bend the left elbow, shoulder, elbow, wrist in a straight line, the palm is up and you make a fist. You grab the left form with the right hand now, keeping it steady. Each side can be different. Note the difference. Once you're ready, begin. Inhaling, full rotation. Small as you need to avoid the forearm moving and coming along. Mimicking rather the depth. And changing direction. Door 5. Beautiful. Once you complete 3 and the opposite direction, release the hands. You can release the hands for the thighs. Raising tall on the knees. Take the knees back to the hip distance or even a little wider. You can venture to shoulder distance. Toes in line with the knees. Tops of feet are grounded and mat support as you need to. Elbows are hugged really close to the body and the hands are resting on the thighs. The shoulders are free. As you inhale, bend at the elbows as much as you can. At the top, flip the palms to face you. As you exhale, release down. Inhale, bend at the elbows. At the top, flip the palms to face out. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, flip the palm. Exhale. Inhale, flip the palms to face out. Exhale, releasing down. Super. Feeding the knees back together. Returning into Vajrasana, the thunderbolt pose. You can be here or tall on the knees as you need to. If you're just playing around with your practice and it's accessible, lean a little to your left for a brief moment so you can sweep the right leg out from underneath and bring it around in front to where you ground the right foot and the knees pointing towards the ceiling. But you're very much just playing with your practice, there's no fight. Extend your arms straight out in front and then down at a 45-degree angle. And you can make little fists here. The intention is to move from the shoulder, to think your bicep moving, and encourage you for your breath to flow at a natural rhythm. For an extra challenge, the biceps turn in an opposite direction. But don't force. Note the reaction of the shoulder, checking in that it's your biceps moving. Beautiful, all is well. You can keep your arms out in front, or if necessary, return to hand support to bring the right leg back in. Then you can lean to your left, or lean to your right, my apologies, and bring the left leg back out. The arms back out in 45 degree, then bring them out to the side. So it's a similar angle, 45 degree, but they're out from the sides of the shoulders. And then it's the same movement. If you experience any pinching once you come out to the side, perhaps you return to the front movement. Check in that your biceps are moving, but the shoulders aren't hiking up close to the ear. Super. Pausing here for a moment. You can keep the arms out to the side. You can ground them if necessary to bring the left leg back, but if you're just playing around with your practice and it's a little accessible to you, raise tall on the knee. You can allow the back heel to lift. And smoothly bring the left knee to the ground. The knees are about as wide as your shoulders, so just a little less. Tuck the toes and sitting back in the heel. But don't fight. Toes are tucked, sitting on the heel, but any variation is welcomed. Raise the arms to shoulder height. Now this is good, same movement. But if necessary, come back a step. You're moving from the bicep. Your breath is flowing, making little fists. It's a gentle fist. Come to the rest of the movement, release the fingers, then release the hands to face down. Hands come next to the thighs or even next to the ankles, perhaps if your toes are tucked. If it's comfortable, if you're mindfully applying, maintain this position. We'll endeavour to move through the shoulder blades, which will be perceived as the shoulder is moving now. Gaze is straight ahead and the chin is in a mild double chin and your sternum is back. We'll move with the breath. As you inhale, retract the shoulders back, elevate the shoulders up. As you exhale, front and down. Inhale, shoulders back and up. Exhale, front and down. Inhale, shoulders back and up. Exhale, front and down. Pause there for a moment. Inhale, elevate up from that point. Exhale, retract back and down. Inhale, shoulders front and up. Exhale, back and down. Keep the arms straight as best you can. Inhale, shoulders front and up. Exhale, back and down. Shoulders free. Hands come to your hips. If it's very comfortable, take your hands behind. Clasp the opposite wrist, former elbow. Still good. Raise tall on your knees and untuck your toes. Doubling over the mat as you need to. Now the intention is moving through the neck. If you find that there is any dizziness present, please don't be tall on your knees. Be in any other seated variation and keep the eyes open. Small rotations initially. Build towards the greater rotation. No force through any discomfort. Drop your chin towards your throat. And with the chin down, begin to turn your gaze to your right so your chin will glide lightly across the right collarbone. Then if it feels good from this angle, begin to lift your chin up towards the ceiling. As you lift your chin, notice on lifting your chest, you're not arching through the back. With your chin lifted, begin to draw a circle on the ceiling. The shoulders are steady to your left. Drop the chin down past the left collarbone. Returning to the base of the throat. Continue to your right. Chin down past the collarbone. Lift the chin if necessary, low as you need to. Draw a circle on the ceiling, mindful of any dizziness. To your left. Pass down the left collarbone. Base of throat. Reversing direction, smoothly to your left. Lift the chin. Begin to rotate through to your right. Dropping down past the right collarbone, base of throat, one more time to your left. Beautiful, back to center and lift your chin. Release the hands, the knees and the feet together, tuck your toes underneath behind and then sit tall back in the heels. Toes can be untucked or you can remain high in the knees. Taking one hand, placing on the chest, preferably skin on skin. Then the other hand presses on top and there's a little bit of pressure so you can really feel you're pressurizing against the skin. Come back into a mild double chin. Then lift the chin towards the ceiling while maintaining that pressure on the chest. The lips are together. Breathe. No pressure on the back of the neck. Just a bit of stretch in the front of the throat, down into the chest. Shoulders are working down your back. Feels good. Try and slide your bottom teeth beyond your top teeth. Beautiful. Slide the teeth back if you went there. Bringing the head back to center position, gaze front. Release the hands. Coming front on the hands and the knees. Really aligning in that Vajraswasana, that tiger breathing setup as best you can. The forearm distance between the knees. Forearm distance between the knees and the hands. Raising tall, but increase the distance if necessary. Don't fight. Toes in line with the knees. A few gentle rounds in your tiger breathing, so slow and steady through the spine. As you inhale, arch to the lower back. Belly works towards the mat. Middle back, ribs drop. Upper back. Chest drops a little, lift the head slightly, no pressure on the neck. As you exhale, head is lasting to release around your lower back, push away the mat slightly, middle back, upper back, releasing the head. Inhale out. Exhale around. Inhale out, so please mindfully apply. Be aware of your body's reaction. Exhale around, thinking head lasting to release. Inhale out, thinking head is lasting to release. Exhale, round. Beautiful, back to an easy spine, gaze slightly front. If it's comfortable for you, your knees and feet come together now. And take your hands to be a little wider than the shoulders. Mindfully apply. If you have any tenderness in your lower back, any pressure in the knee or the hip, please take care. Keep the hands where they are, arms working straight. Drop your knees to your right. Or your hips, my apologies, hips to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale to your right. Be there for a moment. Just note the response. Right arm in particular is working straight. There's no pressure on your shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale to your left. Maintain and breathe. Left arm works a little straighter. Beautiful. Inhale, smoothly back to center. Bringing the hands into the position where they sit underneath the shoulder. In whichever way is necessary for you, with care, bring the right foot front. You might step the leg out to the right side and then give it a helping hand. Take care to get all the way there. If you have any sensitivity in the left knee, please take care by doubling over the mat as you need to. Then raising up, and both hands can rest on the right knee for a moment. If you need a little more of a stable base, take the right foot to be a little wider. A wider, more steady base. Bring the awareness into the hips. Have a look at your left hip. Can you back the hip up to where your hip is directly over the knee? Once you've arrived here, can you square the hip? So that's a straight line working across the front of the hip. Your right leg can straighten as much as you need to get the hip back over the knee. This is good here. A slight tuck of the pelvis. Gaze is front, chin is a little back. The intention is to experience an opening along the front of the left thigh, top of the hip, maybe down even into the thigh working towards the knee. Oh, don't fight. Keep breathing. Focus on your point to help maintain balance, and your back toes are untucked. Beautiful. Softly stretch front. One smooth step or a scoot or helping hand. The right knee comes back to meet the left. Then bring the left front. Helping hand if required. No rush to get there. Good distance taking the foot front so the entire foot, toes to heel is grounded. Then raising up once you feel steady, support your right knee if required. Then back your hip up. Check in with your alignment. Your right hip is directly over your knee. Then there's a straight line across the front of the hip. Then there's a slight tuck of the pelvis. Then a very mild push front to a point where you feel the extension and you feel the opening on the front of the right hip now. Your spine is lifted. Gaze front as best you can. Chin mild, double chin. Breathe. Where do you feel it? Just note the reaction, the difference between both sides. Super. Now the intention from here is to come to standing. And you can do so in whichever way is necessary for you. If you're just playing around, however, you can use hand support on the leg. If all is well, arms can come out to the side. Tuck the back toes. You're thinking feet pushing away from each other in opposite direction, but don't force, smoothly come up. By little step the feet a bit closer. Oh, don't fight. Come up front whichever way is necessary for you. Once you've risen, bring your feet to hip distance apart. So if you were to locate the center of your thighs and draw a line straight down, there would be the center, there is where we'd want, rather, the center lining up the ankles and toes pointing straight ahead. The hands are on the hips. If it's comfortable for your gaze, there's no dizziness present. Bring your awareness into your toes, looking at your toes. Elevate all of your toes up. Then as you exhale, ground the big toes only. Inhale, re-raising big toe. Exhale, grounding big toe. Inhale, raising big toe. On the exhale, second to little toe, just come to ground now. Inhale, re-raising second to little. Exhale, grounding. Inhale, raising second to little. As you exhale, regrounding the big toes and grounding the little toes. Keep the 3 lads in between raised and allow the breath to flow. But don't force. Working towards beautiful grounding all of your toes. Knees are soft. Take your feet to be a little wider. So just a little wider than the hips. If you need wall support, you can come to the wall and use the wall support. If there's a little challenge in the balance, raise the right heel up. Feels good, raise the entire right foot. Keep a light bend in the right knee. Focus on a point. And as best you can, 3 rotations in one direction. And over forwards. 3 in the opposite direction. As best you can, I know it's challenging with the balance included. Endeavouring to just move through the ankle. So the shin is steady, the hip is steady. Once you've completed, grounding the right foot, switch the weight onto the right side, raise the left heel. Raise the left foot a little. Allow the breath to flow 3 in one direction as best you can. Focusing on just ankle movement. If necessary, a little wall support is welcomed. Changing direction. Beautiful. Grounding the right foot. Very comfortable. Please be mindful if you have any sensitivity on the toes or on the ankles. The feet start at hip distance apart, so they come back to a little closer. Hands are on the hips, focus on a point in front of you, raise the right heel. This is good. Step the right foot back a small distance behind you. As you step back, note that you're not leaning front to compensate for the leg coming back. We want to keep the shoulder over the hip and over the knee of the left leg. All as well, you can untuck the right toes. So the top of the right foot is grounding and beautiful stretch can be experienced. If you're comfortable and familiar, you can step the right foot back a little further, mindful of the balance. Note that you're not leaning front. Sternum is back, chin is back. Recognize the reaction on the top of the right foot and breathe. Beautiful with care. Tuck the right toes. And then bring the right foot back to meet the left. Smoothly coming back. Raise the left heel now. Step the left foot back small distance. Feels good. You can step back a greater distance. Then tucking the toes. Be mindful of your balance. Hips remain squaring. Sternum is a little back. Chin is a little back. Breath flows. Where do you feel it? Where responds? Beautiful. Tuck the toes. And then bring the left foot back to meet the right. Bring your feet together in Tadasana position, so your mountain pose. Feet together, toes and heels touch. Hands to the side for a brief moment. Gaze is front and chin is back. Be aware of the hips. Naturally, many of us hold our hips out in front, utilising the front of the body, and this creates a lot of strain and tension. Bring the hip back. Hip, knee and ankle in a line. Sternum is back. The hands come in front of the thighs. Few rounds of ankle stretches. If you have any challenge in the ankle or the knees, perhaps you keep the heel grounded. Feels good, your mindful climb will raise on the toes. Focus on the point. The hips are a little back. As you inhale, raise the arms. Feels good. Raising the toes, but focus on your point. As you exhale, release the arms and release the heels. Inhale, raise the arms, extend well on the toes. Exhale, release. Your shoulders are relatively relaxed as you work. Inhale, raising the shoulders without hunching the shoulders up next to the ear. Exhale, release. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, smoothly raise it. As best you can, keep the arms extending, but as you exhale, just release the heels. Furthermore, take your feet to be as wide as your shoulders, if not a little wider. Interlace the fingers and turn the palms to face the ceiling. The shoulders are down the back, sternum is back. If you find this challenging for your shoulders, hands over the sides of the body is beautiful work. Your next exhale, fold to your right from the waist. Push your hips a little to your left. Note that you're folding from the waist, You're keeping your hips in a straight line across the front, so checking with your alignment. And same with the shoulder. Note if you're pushing your hip front here. The hip maintains back, the hip, the knee and the ankle almost in a straight line. Breathe. Feel. Inhale smoothly back. Sternum back, shoulder down the back. Arms straight as you can, exhale to your left. Push your hip a little to your right. And just notice the response. Mindful you're not dropping the head. Keep the head a little active, encouraging strength through the neck. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale smoothly back. Release the interlace of the fingers. If you can, keep the arms extending. If you're not facing the short edge of your mat, please do face the short edge, so maybe just a little readjusting in your position. A foot's distance or probably a little more from the front of the mat. Mindfully apply with just one single round of a back bend and a forward fold. Take care if there's any challenge in the back of the body. Bend the knees generously. As you inhale, a slight tuck of the pelvis and a gentle back bend. A slightly gaze up. As you exhale, push the hip back. Then hinge forward from the front of the hip line. Recognize the length in the spine. Folding deeply if it feels good, but don't fight. Swing the arms back and release the head. Then as you inhale, release the hands. Coming into an effortless forward fold for a moment. In this effortless forward fold, please check in with your knees. Are they tracing? Are they tracking towards your toes? Can you lean back to where your knees over your ankles? Furthermore, as you bend your knees bending in towards each other, or do they drop out to either sides? If your knees are bending in towards each other or dropping out to either side, can you make that readjustment through the hip, so through the thigh and the hip, so your toes or your knees are pointing in the direction of the toes? Now feel them. Beautiful. Don't fight. Your next inhale, lift the head slightly. Take the hands to be in front of your feet. You can bend your knees as much as you need to achieve this. Fingertips to the palms. Then if it's part of your practice and accessible, walk with feet a good distance towards the back of the mat into the downward facing dog. Torso back towards the thighs, as the sternum maintains drawn in. If this is challenging, you can grow the knees entirely and be in the resting warrior, the downward facing warrior. All is well, you're up. Just for a moment, breathe really well. Very comfortable. Keep the toes where they are. Bend the right knee slightly and stretch the left heel to the mat. And the ball of the left foot is dragging the mat backward. Spread the fingers, keep the palms grounded, keep that length in the spine. Then bend the left knee lightly and drop the right heel towards the mat and ball of the right foot is dragging back toward the back of the room. Note that you're not leaning all the weight into the right arm, share the weight with the left. Beautiful. Get a bend in both knees. The gaze is front, in whichever way is necessary for you. Come front, but perhaps right knee, right wrist, shin diagonally across the body. The left shin or ankle stacks on top. Then sitting back, and if you have the space, maybe you need to readjust. Rolling back. Coming onto your back. A soft rolling side to side. Coming to rest with the rolling. Keep the knees and feet together or working towards each other. Hands on top of the knees or maybe towards the thighs. Then rotate the knees together in the same direction. Just notice the response through the lower back, the lumbar region. Chin is slightly drawn back in a mild double chin. Then changing directions. Beautiful. And then back to center. Keep the bend in the knee, but welcome the soles of the feet to the mat as wide as your shoulders. Hands are down by the sides of the body now, and your heels are sliding in the direction of your fingertips. Maybe they greet each other, but try not to stand on them. Chin in a mild double chin. Pressurize your feet into the mat. As you inhale, smoothly push the hip. Recognize that the lower back is the first to lift, not your middle back. Then continue through the middle back. Feels good, explore through the upper back. As you exhale, roll down, upper, middle, and lower back. But recognize the firmness in the feet. No fight in the lower back itself. Inhale, smoothly pressurize the feet, feel the lower back lift, middle back, upper back. Exhale, upper, middle, lower. Inhale, pressurize the feet, engage your lower body, smoothly push the hip. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, push the hip. Exhale, release. Inhale, push the hip. Then maintain it there for a few breaths if you can. Feel the firmness in the feet, the engagement to the lower body, or the hips lift, but there's no pressure on your knee, no pressure on the hip to the lower back, and no pressure on the neck. Never fight it. Breathe. Exhale, upper, middle, lower back with care. Extending the legs out straight. Hands over the sides of the body. If you have any challenge in the neck, please do take care. As you exhale, bend the right knee, thigh towards the chest. You can grab behind the thigh or in front of the knee. Feels good for the neck. You can maybe raise from a mild double chin, bringing the nose towards the knee. Not leading with the chin. As you inhale, ground the head. If you raise, then ground the leg. Exhale the left. Inhale, release the head and release the leg. Exhale the right. Inhale, release. Exhale left. Inhale, release. Exhale right. Inhale, release. Exhale left. Inhale, release. Exhale the right. And as you inhale, keep the thigh close, but just ground the head and the shoulders. All is well here now. If your hands aren't already there, you can transition your hands to behind the thigh and squeeze the calf muscle against both hands, or you can have one hand alternately resting in front of the shin. Now the intention here is to push the heel. Toes draw back towards you and to move from the knee by turning the foot in and out. Heel pushes away. Maintain the hand, the calf muscle squeezing against perhaps one or both hands that's in between the thigh. As you inhale, turn the foot out. As you exhale, turn the foot in. Inhale, foot out. Exhale, foot in. Inhale, foot out. Exhale, foot in. Inhale, foot out. While toes turn back towards you. Exhale, foot turns in. Beautiful. Smoothly back to center. Bring the left hand down to be in front of the knee, or perhaps you bring it towards the side of the right thigh. Right arm extends out to the side of the body, shoulder height, in straight arm or cactus arm. As you exhale, draw your right leg over towards the left side of the body. Gaze to your right. Only bringing the right leg over to the point that you can maintain the back of the right shoulder grounding. Your upper back is fully grounded. Any strain on the neck, please maintain the gaze upward. Breathe and twist. Inhale, center. Releasing the right leg, hands over the sides of the body. Exhale the left, knee towards the chest, grab the leg. Nose towards the knee. Keep the thigh close as you inhale, ground the head and ground the shoulders. You can take one hand, place behind the left thigh. Then rebend the knee and the other hand to be resting in front of the knee or the shin. The left heel pushes away so toes draw back towards you. As you inhale, turn the foot out. As you exhale, turn the foot in. Inhale, foot out. So this is moving from the knee. Exhale in. Inhale, foot out while heel is pushing away. Exhale, turning it in. Inhale, out. Exhale, in. Beautiful. Back to a central position. All is well here now. Take the right hand to be on the outside of the left thigh. And extend your left arm straight out shoulder height or cactus arm. Next exhale, draw the right leg over towards, or the left leg, apologies. over towards the right side of the body, gaze left. Only getting twisted to the point you can maintain the upper back round. Breathe long and soft. Beautiful. Inhale. Keep the bend in the left knee, ground the left foot, and then bend the right knee. Whichever side is best for you, gently roll onto your side. Coming onto your side for a moment. Then when you feel steady, gently push up. But no rush, take the time. All is well here. If you have this option of the space, I'll encourage you to come to a wall. Bring the short edge of your mat to the wall. If necessary, you could use a chair or you can use a couch, just mindful that it is nice and secure to place your leg up on. So with the short edge of the mat against the wall or coming to a chair or a couch, I'll encourage you to come to the wall and sitting at the wall sideways, so that one side of the hip is close to the wall. This feels good here, it takes a little shimmy and a little play around. You want to keep the hip as close to the wall, but you want to scoot around so it's now that the bum is close to the wall, and extend your legs up. Now the intention is having the bum close to the wall as best you can, but recognize if the back of the hips, the upper buttock muscle and the lower part of the spine, if this is elevated, that's an indication perhaps that you need to scoot a little further away from the wall. Likewise with your chin. If your chin is jutting up towards the ceiling and it takes a lot of concerted effort to bring the chin into a mild double chin, you may need to increase the distance between body and the wall. Legs straight or bent. Feels good. Feet about a foot or so apart. Legs a little straighter. Hands coming out from the sides of the body, palms face up. Or perhaps you allow the hands to rest on the belly and one on the chest. All is well, settling into your breath. Just like the start of your practice, I'll encourage you to go at your own rhythm. Breathing that resonance breath. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue to the point that's comfortable for you. A beautiful, soft and lengthened breath. Ujjayi breathing if you can. Soft and lengthy breath. You can have the eyes closed if comfortable. If you feel like you're dozing off and it feels best to keep the eyes open, please do so. This feels good. Take your legs to be wider apart now. Any degrees welcomed. You're checking in. Can you still keep the back of the hips grounded? Back of the ribs and the chin in that beautiful length and alignment, keeping the spine long. Recognize your action in the inner thighs and the groin. Can you still maintain the breath? Beautiful, bringing your feet together, legs straight. Then if it's successful, bend the knees to a degree that the soles of the feet can come together. But note your body's reaction. Maybe it's just a very mild bend in the knees and the soles of the feet work towards each other. Or perhaps you can bend a little further. Just feel and work. each exhale, how the body releases a little further into the earth. All of worry, all of tension, all is accepted by the earth. Beautiful. Maintain as you are. Perhaps you turn to legs straight about a foot or so apart, or you can explore any other variation, legs wide. Breath still flows. Work with the intention of really extend it towards the resonant breathing. Count of 5. Beautiful. If your eyes are closed, I'd encourage you to keep them closed. Bringing the feet together. Then bend the knees to the point that you can bring the soles of the feet to the mat, or the soles of the feet, my apologies, to the wall, but without raising the back of the hips. So you don't round through the lower back. You still feel the back of the hip grounded, maybe even a mild arch still maintaining the lower back. Breathe. When all is well, you bring your thighs in towards your chest. And you can use your hands, a little hand support to bring the thighs a little closer. Just a mild rolling side to side, very mild, eyes still closed. Beautiful. And all feels good and steady. With care, if it's comfortable, maintain the eyes closed. Just slightly rolling to one side. Now there's no rush. Gently rolling to one side. And then once you feel steady, no trace of dizziness, gently push up to any seated variation. Eyes closed. Coming to the end of your practice, just note any difference to the start of your practice. Drawing your palms together, rubbing palms, create a little heat. Place the hands over the eyes, gently cock. And extend a massage throughout the eyes, the nose, the cheekbone, the temple. Taking the hands small distance away from the eyes. Gently blink the eyes open. Gaze into your palms. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I hope you had a good practice. I hope the rest of your day goes well. We look forward to connecting with you in your next practice. Thank you so much.